Canada has it all, from the bustling streets of Toronto to the charming old-world atmosphere of Quebec City. It's a country where development and legacy go hand in hand with a male life expectancy of 79.8 years and a female life expectancy of 83.9 years, and insane laws. But don't smell awful or pay for products with too many coins here. Or you may be sorry. Are you prepared to travel to a country where you will be expected to apologize, even though you have done nothing wrong? Is this really how life is in Canada? Let's not give too much away about this one just yet. Before we begin, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming content we have in store for you. Now that that's taken care of, let's get started. 1. Canada, the world's second largest country by land area, is located in northern North America. Its southern border with the United States is the world's longest binational land border, lasting 8,891 kilometers. Canada's huge landmass stretches from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and northward into the Arctic Ocean. 2. The Knoll Heritage Trail in the Northwest Territories is regarded as one of the world's most difficult trails. It travels through severe wilderness, across mountains, and along river valleys. 3. Bad odor is banned in Canada, and anyone who violates this legislation in a public area faces up to 2 years in prison. 4. Canada accounts for 85% of the world's maple syrup production. The country has just the proper balance of cold spring nights and warm daytime temperatures to generate an abundance of the clear-colored sap used to manufacture maple syrup. 5. Did you know that milk is purchased in bags in Canada? According to statistics, 75% of Canadians drink milk from a bag. This is due to the fact that milk in bags is less expensive than milk in bottles or cartons. 6. It is normal for residents in Churchill, Canada, to leave their cars unlocked. This is to provide an escape route for any pedestrians who come upon a polar bear. For the same reason, residents also leave the doors to their houses unlocked. Churchill is home to around 15,500 of the world's 25,000 polar bears. The village has more polar bears than inhabitants at times. 7. The UNESCO World Heritage Site of Gros Morne National Park in Newfoundland and Labrador allows visitors to walk on the Earth's mantle, which is uncommonly exposed at the surface here. 8. The small town of St. Paul in Alberta has its own UFO landing site. It was constructed in 1967 and includes a UFO tourist information center. 9. While there are many delicious dishes to savor in Canada, others may make you wonder what the heck. Prairie oysters is one of these delicacies, and these are not oysters, not even close. They are not from the water, nor are they from a shell. Prairie oysters are pan-fried bull testicles served hot. This Canadian meal is only for the bravest of you. 10. Millions of children write letters to Santa Claus each year. Have you ever pondered what happens to them? They are all mailed to the North Pole's postal address in Canada. Santa was also granted Canadian citizenship by the immigration minister in 2008. 11. Jasper National Park, located in the Canadian Rockies, is the largest national park in the region and is recognized for its plentiful wildlife, which includes elk, grizzly bears, hoary marmots, and the Canadian lynx. 12. In Dawson City, Yukon, you can get a very peculiar cocktail called the Sour Toe Cocktail. It's a shot of whiskey with a one-of-a-kind garnish, a mummified human toe. A bootlegger named Louis Lincoln was captured in a blizzard in 1920. According to history, his sibling used an axe to cut off his toe to prevent gangrene. Captain Dick Stevenson discovered it in a jar in 1973 and carried it down to the Sourdough Saloon, where he began adding it to the cocktails of those who were bold enough. The original toe was no longer available, but 25 more have since been given. A sour toe cocktail has been enjoyed by 95,000 people. 13. You might hear expressions like hang a Larry or hang a Roger when in Canada. So just so you're not confused, these are some of the things Canadians say to provide directions. Hang a Larry implies to go left, while hang a Roger means to go right. 14. In 2015, a Canadian man was detained after tying over 100 balloons to a garden chair and flying over Calgary. 15. The Bay of Fundy, located between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, has the world's largest tidal range, with sea levels increasing and decreasing by up to 16 meters. 16. The Great Bear Rainforest in British Columbia is one of the world's largest temperate rainforests, and it is home to the rare white spirit bear, also known as the Kermode bear. 17. The St. Elias Mountains in Yukon have the world's largest non-polar ice field. 18. The Canadian Shield is the world's largest exposed Precambrian rock mass. So, what does this mean for people who aren't geologists? Precambrian rock is from the Earth's initial geologic time, which is the earliest part of the Earth's history. The Precambrian rock has mysteries and stories dating back more than 541 million years. The Canadian Shield covers around 3 million square miles, which is larger than the majority of the world's countries. 19. Before the English arrived, Indians inhabited Canada. The country's name is derived from the native phrase Canada, which means the village. Jacques Cartier, an explorer, heard this term while speaking with the people and used it to name the country. 20. If you remember to bring your bathroom scale to Hudson Bay, you might find yourself a little lighter than usual. This is because the gravitational force is significantly weaker in this region. The theory is that the Laurentide ice sheet, a gigantic glacier, formerly crushed the massive Earth beneath it, displacing part of the lands. Because there is no mass, the gravitational pull is reduced. 21. Scotty, the world's largest T-Rex skeleton, was discovered in Saskatchewan, Canada, in 1991. Paleontologists worked for 20 years to prepare and finish the fossil, which was unveiled to the public in 2011. 22. Yonge Street in Ontario begins at Lake Ontario and continues about 2,000 kilometers to the Minnesota border. 23. In 1915, the London Zoo imported a bear cub from White River, Ontario. A young Christopher Robin Milne's favorite part of the zoo was this Winnipeg bear. This passion influenced his father, Alan Alexander Milne, who went on to author the world-famous Winnie the Pooh books. 24. Alert Nunavut, the world's northernmost settlement, is located at the summit of Ellesmere Island, only 817 kilometers from the North Pole. This community is home to scientists and military personnel. However, it is just a temporary residence because the temperature dips to a low of negative 32 degrees Celsius in January. 25. Churchill, Canada, has a polar bear jail. It is for misbehaving polar bears who spend too much time in Churchill or nearby. The bears are tranquilized with a dart before being carefully brought to the polar bear jail. At the end of the season, they're tranquilized once more and released back into the wild. 26. The Whiskey War, often known as the Liquor Wars, was a boundary dispute between the Kingdom of Denmark and Canada over Hans Island. The island was a source of contention between the two countries from 1978 and 2022. Despite never resorting to violence, they eventually reached an agreement. 27. Following the signing of the agreement, the foreign minister exchanged bottles of spirits with notes attached to symbolize the end of the Whiskey War. The deal calls for both Canada and Denmark to place flags of the same color on the small but significant Arctic island. 28. One of the most significant figures about Canada is that the country's parks outnumber those of other countries. Consider the Nahanni National Park Reserve in Canada's Northwest Territories. It is not only beautiful with massive waterfalls, but it is also 30,050 square kilometers larger than Albania and Israel. 29. Canada has the only walled city in North America. It is the lovely city of Quebec. During the 17th and 19th centuries, The French and then the English built these walls and other defenses. Quebec City is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of North America's oldest cities. It dates back to 1608 when Samuel de Champlain founded it. 30. According to archaeological evidence, humans have been present in Canada for more than 14,000 years. Humans are thought to have migrated from Siberia to North America over the Beringia Land Bridge, which existed during the Ice Age when sea levels were lower. 31. Canada holds the record for the lowest temperature ever recorded. On January 23, 1885, the lowest temperature ever recorded was negative 63 degrees Celsius in Snag, Yukon Territory. 32. In Canadian waters, there are approximately 1,000 shipwrecks. According to government records, numerous ships have sunk without a trace due to Canada's exceptionally cold water temperatures, severe winds and waves, and significant sea ice coverage, which have subsequently become prime spots for scuba divers to investigate. 33. The beaver is Canada's national animal. Why? Because the country was founded on the fur trade, and the beaver's pelt was in high demand. 34. Canadians are notorious for overusing the term sorry, so much so that the Apology Act was passed in 2009, making apologies inadmissible in court. Apologies, in other words, are a show of sympathy rather than guilt or wrongdoing. 35. Manitoba's Narcissi snake dens are exactly what they sound like. A snake pit that acts as a popular tourist attraction. Many people are fascinated by the snakes and the activities that take place at the pit. 36. To honor Canada's 150th birthday in 2017, the Royal Canadian Mint issued a glow-in-the-dark coin depicting a canoe on a lake with the northern lights beaming above. In the daylight, the colored bimetallic coin is lovely, but in the dark, the coin's northern lights give a lifelike radiance. 37. The most recognizable symbol of Canada is its national flag, the maple leaf. Adopted in 1965, the red and white flag features a stylized 11-point maple leaf in the center. The maple leaf is a symbol of Canada because the sugar maple's leaf has long been associated with the country and is featured on the national coat of arms. And there you have it. 37 fascinating facts about Canada. Thanks for joining us on this journey. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting content. Where should we visit next?